first coverage is personal injury protection. It is required in Florida. It covers 80% of your medical bills and 60% of your lost wages that may occur if you're in an accident. And it pays without regard to fault, and that is the quote, no fault you've heard, because it pays automatically. The issue is it stops at $10,000. It stops at $10,000. Because I do personal injury work every day, I get the opportunity to see a lot of medical bills. I get the opportunity to see how much it costs to ride in an ambulance and how much it costs to go to the ER. Don't want to shock anybody, but you can barely get in the ER and out for $5,000. Okay? So the $10,000, it sounds good and it may make you have some comfort, but it can be gone instantly. I have a situation right now where a young lady went in, one trip, as soon as her accident was over with, she went to the hospital, was not admitted. Just by the time they got her there, did some diagnostic testing, $18,000. So instantly she was going to be out of coverage. So we're going to look at ways we can help prevent that. Now, obviously, fairness to the hospitals, they do a great job. We have to have them. I'm not complaining about that, but the bills do come rapidly, okay? Property damage liability is the next coverage. Again, it's required. This comes into play primarily if you run into another vehicle and it's your fault. It comes into play if you run into a stop sign, a telephone pole, any kind of property that you may damage. Now, that does not protect your vehicle. That only protects something else you may run into, okay? And conversely, if someone runs into you and they damage your car, you're hoping they have property damage liability. Another issue is it's only has to be bought in the amount of $10,000. So again, it's very limited. How many of us have seen the big Hummers driving up and down the road? We've seen those? How many of us have a Hummer? Okay, good, I'm not picking on anybody. Literally saw a case where a Hummer caused a rear-end collision on the beach, and it was the fourth car which hit the third car hit the second car, and the second car hit the first car. So one accident and 3 cars got damaged. Okay, pretty good damage. The first car it hit was totaled out. Who wants to guess how much insurance the Hummer had?
$10,000.
$10,000. And so now the people that have their property that they worked hard to pay for are sitting there trying to figure out how they're going to recoup, because the gentleman that caused the crash only had the minimum coverage of $10,000. So then the insurance company says, well, what we're going to do is a, quote, pro rata distribution. We're going to take the $10,000 we have, we're going to try to divvy it up between all these claims. So who's going to lose in that situation? Car 3, car 2, and car 1. There you go, everybody. We're going to learn how we can help protect ourselves in that situation. So we'll look more at that. The next thing is something called medical payments coverage, which you can purchase, optional, not required. And it's good because what it will do is it will come in, remember that initial 80% we talked about with the PIP coverage? This will come in and pay the other 20% that was not paid by the PIP coverage. And again, it's good because it pays without regard to fault. And so you buy it in certain amounts, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000. And again, it pays without regard to fault, and it's designed to cover what your PIP does not cover. One interesting thing you can do with MedPay, if you just want to make a note, it can help with your lost wages in this instance. You can tell the insurance company, I don't want you to pay my medical bills with my PIP coverage, pay those with my MedPay coverage, and let me reserve my PIP benefits for my lost wages. Okay, and what you try to do is you try to allocate a certain amount for your lost wages. And by the way, you can do that with PIP in general, but there's a few more restrictions now. There were some changes in how it is divided up in the hospitals, but that's That's a little bit deeper than what we're going to go right now. So that's some good information on the medical payments coverage. Hello, I'm Douglas Dykes with Cypher & Dykes Law Offices in Panama City. What do you need to know before talking to the insurance company about settling your case? Will you have more medical bills, and how much do they total? Are you able to return to work? Will you need surgery? These are just some of the important questions that must be answered before you consider settling your personal injury claim. Don't let the insurance company tell you what your case is worth. Call me, Douglas Dykes, for help with your case today at 785-3400.